Good evening, everyone. In today's session, my endeavor is going to discuss with you on the possibility of targeting the CAT 2016 exam, which probably will be in October, November this year. Whether you are a third year student of engineering, second year student of a degree college, final year student, or a person with more than a year or 2 or 3 years of experience also, very clearly writing the CAT exam to target towards a good MBA, especially the IIMs and other institutes, is a very positive step in your career. And my endeavor today would be to try to tell you whether it is a right step, and if it is one, how do you go about achieving that? Okay, that's going to be the whole purpose of this seminar. The agenda is very simple. I'm going to talk very briefly on why you want to do an MBA. Is MBA really that as good a thing as everybody talks about? We talk about CAT. We also talk about scores and percentiles. Lots of people have very right and or wrong notions about this exam called CAT. Everybody thinks it's the most difficult exam in the world, or at least in India. Many a time people come back and say it is not for normal people, so to say. I don't know what is abnormal in the first place. You need not be an IITN or an NITN to get into the IIMs. We'll see why it's actually easy to get into CAT itself in the first place with the kind of scores that I'll show you. That is what the agenda of getting into an IIM would be. Then we look at if once we establish that, okay, there is an aspiration, ambition to do the best and get into the best institutes, obviously idea is how do you get there? What kind of a preparation you need? And are these 6-8 months that is available more than sufficient for you to do that? That is going to be one part of my discussion. And last but not the least, I'm going to discuss whether Vistamind with our team that we have is a good partner for you to your successful career. Okay, that's going to be the agenda, friends. So let's look at why should one do an MBA in the first place. Unlike any other master's course, MBA is the most generalized course that anybody can take. That's one of the reasons why you can be a BA, BSc, BCA, BTech, BCom, BBA, MBBS, BPharm, doesn't matter what you are, any one of them can do an MBA. If you are a BCom, you do an MCom, and after you will have to do a CA kind of things or a CS. Once you go into that route, your route is blocked. You are a BTech, you do an MTech or an MS in the US, you can do a PhD, all right. But once you get into that route, and if you get into a software, non-software, technical job, after a few years, your line is stuck forever, whether you like it or not. True with law, true with every other course that is there, not just in India, friends, but about any other course in the world. MBA, variously called PGDM, PGPM, PGDBM, etc. It's finally a 2-year management course, management degree or a diploma, is going to give you the flexibility that no other course can give you. More often than not, we pick up after 10th, because we were somewhere good in mathematics or science, we pick up sciences. Quite a lot of them pick up sciences. 11th and 12th, because you have picked up sciences, you pick up an engineering or a medical course in that sense. Some of them who are afraid of maths, they take up a humanities or arts and end up doing a BCom or a BA. Till you finish your degree, whether it is an engineering or non-engineering degree, there is precious little idea about what you want to do in life or what kind of jobs are available in the first place. That is one of the reasons why you'll be very surprised to know that more than 80-90% of the MBA students in the IIMs and other institutes are engineers. If they were so interested in engineering, why on earth are they not continuing? The reason is very simple. They weren't interested in engineering at the first place. They were interested in getting out of 12th, getting into something else, so that their supposed career will progress. So the decision that you take today, post your degree or after your degree, even if you're working for a couple of years also, you will realize that this decision to do an MBA can last for the next 35, 40 years. And that's one of the reasons why an MBA is considered completely different graduation than anything else. In fact, let me put it this way, while it's easily called a degree, etc., I think what you learn in an MBA, unlike in every other master's degree, is skill or skills. In every other master's program, you learn knowledge, you get knowledge, you become a technical expert, you become an accounting expert, you become a you become a law expert, etc. kind of things. But in an MBA, you don't become an expert in anything. You develop skills. Skills to manage, skills to understand business, skills to improve communication, skills to improve persuasion skills, skills to improve resource management. Believe me, the kind of jobs, the kind of rigorous curriculum that you will probably go to for 2 years is going to be completely different than you can think of. Before I go into more specifics, couple of questions I'll tell you how MBA is different from all other courses. If you do an MTech, just about everybody who has done a BTech does an MTech. You do a MCA, almost everybody who has done a BCA does an MCA. Anybody who does an MCom has to do a BCom. Anybody who does an MA typically does a BA. Or for that matter, a person who has done a BA LLB can do an LLM, Masters of Law. Therefore, in the class that you are getting into, whether it is an MS, MBA, MTech, MCom, MA, or whatever master's program that you get into, the people that you are going to be with are exactly from the similar kind of a background. Very, very similar background. There is a difference in terms of their 10th, 12th degree marks, maybe from different places of the country. Beyond that, there is very precious little that differentiates them in their outlook, their thinking, their knowledge. But when you go to an MBA school, you get people who are freshers. You get people with 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, or even 5 years of experience. You get people with this experience from different fields, people in marketing, finance, accounts, operations, telecounseling, software, hardware, doesn't matter, wherever they come from. People come from engineering. Within engineering, they come from civil, mechanical, electrical, electronics, computer science, anything else. People come from BA, BCom, BSc, or BPharm for that matter. Look at a course that you are sitting with 100 students or 50 students or 200 students who come from various backgrounds and probably various countries also. In fact, in India, it is not that. If you look at the US, they restrict people from all the countries. They don't give more than 10%, especially European MBAs. They don't give more than 10% seats to one single country. The simple reason is the diversity. People, when they come with diversity, the reason is very obvious. MBA is business administration, business skills. You need to have all kinds of thoughts, all kinds of opinions coming in so that you can get the best opinion. The kind of projects, seminars, internships that you do, with the help of people, you will also learn team skills. If there is a team of 4, each one has a different skill. Whereas if you look at a software, almost everybody has the same skills. Maybe, okay, the skills are technical skills otherwise, a Java, a database, or a front end, but not thinking skills, managerial skills, kind of things. Whereas here what we're talking about is a completely different idea. So these 2 years of an MBA, friends, more than giving you a job that everybody looks at, more than giving you a better package, which is obviously going to happen, what it does is transform your thinking. Transform the way you will communicate with people. Transform the way you collaborate, coordinate with people. And that's the reason why probably you should do an MBA to start with. Add to that now the benefits. First, it is the most sector independent career. It is based on personal choice. You can shift jobs. We will talk about it, Pavitra. Just hold on for a few minutes. It's not one institute. There are at least 100 institutes which are good to do an MBA. Now the point is, can you get into the best? you will try getting to the best, obviously. We'll talk about those colleges too. Sector based on personal choice. You are, in fact, not only sector based on, you can call it growth potential. 10 years back, e-commerce was not there. Today, everybody gets into e-commerce. 15 years back, biotechnology was good. 20 years back, marketing was good. Hindustan Unilever, P&G, FMCGs were good. About the last few years, except before we got into the financial crisis, investment banks like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, Lehman Brothers at that point of time used to be or private equity players used to take people. You can, depending on your strengths, of course, skills, of course, you can shift. Not knowledge, mind you, it is the skills that I'm talking about. And skills, like anything else, can be developed. And that's the reason why it is based on both personal choice and growth potential. So any changes, see, if you are a Java developer and tomorrow Java gets replaced, you will have to start all over again. But if you are an MBA, you don't have to, because whether it is a Java guy or tomorrow there is a Bava guy or whatever else it comes in, please understand that managing people is going to be the most difficult one any which way. And therefore, if you are interested in the sector, you can become very good in it, or it is sector independent, either which way. To a large extent, it's a career which can make you an entrepreneur. In fact, I know of a lot of Gujaratis and Marwadis who are entrepreneurs themselves. But today, when you see they're coming back to MBA, simply because not only it will give you the choice of being an entrepreneur, but also helps you scale up your businesses. If you are from that business family, you will realize that most of them in the 2 crores to 10 crore range. How do you make it 100 crores, 200 crores, 500 crores? It requires a vision. And an MBA curriculum and the kind of a structure that is what happens in the best schools will make you not only learn the entrepreneurial skills, but also make you run for the scale. Then of course, it's the most financially rewarding area, barring probably politics. And on an average, I'm saying, see, doctor, if you become a doctor and a specialist, you can make tons of money. But please understand, not every doctor makes tons of money. Similarly, you can become a lawyer. Ram Jetmalani or a Mahesh Jetmalani or somebody like that will make a lot of money. But not everybody makes money. There are lots of people who don't make money. Of course, now the laws also change. Lawyers or the law area also is changing to an extent. CA, not all CAs make money to a large extent. But let me assure you that if you are in the top 50 colleges or 100 colleges in the country, 100, not the top 3, top 5, it's pretty rewarding throughout your 35 years of life, 40 years of your career rather. Not only the initial salary, but the faster salary growth. One number I'll give you, which will be, job popping. If you are a software guy, if you do 15 years of work in a software company like Infosys, CTS, TCS, etc., and you continue to be in the software, you start with 3 lakhs and probably end up with 20 lakhs after 15 to 17 years. You are an MBA, you may start still with 3 to 5 lakhs. The lower level MBA I'm talking about. But in 15 years, in the same span, you can end up with 50 to 60 lakhs per annum of job. I'm not quoting out of the air. You look at any job portals, people, if you just manage saying that I have 15 years of MBA experience from not so great institute also, you will be getting the 30, 40 lakhs at least, if not 60 lakhs. If you're from the top IIMs, very clearly the average pay will be the number that I've quoted. And that's the reason why, if you are good in it and if you have the aspiration, and of course, aspiration is not enough, you need to take up the responsibility also, you have this faster growth that no other course in the world can give. It's a fast track career again. It's merit-based growth. Yeah, there will be reservations. There are OBC reservations, SC, ST reservations to get into the best institutes, including the IIMs. But once you get out of it, there are no reservations. It's a completely merit-based growth track across the world and definitely in India too. And you can be a CEO by 45, 50 if you are ambitious. Even if you're not ambitious, you can be a CXO by the time you are 45, 50. And that's a very, very fast career. Very few people get it. And of course, India requires tons and tons of managers, friends. This is the best time to do an MBA. There is no doubt about it at all. In fact, the way I look at it, India is the only bright spot in the entire globe. The kind of growth that we are doing, it's only because of our business enterprise and entrepreneurship available. And with the kind of people that we have and the kind of growth that we can achieve, it's mind-boggling what we can achieve. I'll give you some small data. Those of you are listening carefully, listen to this. The US has only 33 odd crore people, 330 million, 33 crore people. And their average per capita is close to $50,000. We are 120 crore people. That's 4 times. And our per capita is less than $2,000. Please realize there is tremendous potential of growth if we really use it correctly. And I am, not only me, in fact, the entire industry is convinced that to a large extent, apart from technology that we need to grow, management skills are required in abundance. And of course, last but not the least, there is huge personal satisfaction when you do an MBA and then get into a management career, because everything that you take, every decision that you take, correct or wrong, whether it's successful or not successful, it finally comes back to haunt you. I think it is about taking your life in your hands and trying to do whatever you can, right? You can be a decision maker and of course lead people. That's one serious reason why one should look at an MBA, because it's not just career growth, not just financial, not just independent, but also great satisfaction. And as a serious aside to all these things, for a long-term view, the short-term view of the 2 years in an MBA, you get to meet the best people, both in your classmates, your friends, your industry, and probably make the best networks that's possible. And that's where I'm saying, guys, very few people understand this, but MBA probably is the right thing if you are ambitious, ready to take up responsibility, and are ready to put in that kind of effort towards getting there.